First, students only have a 10 minutes passing period between classes. Since the wait time is often longer than that, many students end up leaving line without ordering. During peak hours, demand reaches approximately 124 customers per hour, but the barista's processing time is 48 seconds per drink, which limits the capacity to 75 drinks per hour. This is calculated using the formula capacity equals number of workstation times available time divided by time per drink. Since there's only one barista workstation, we can take 3,600 seconds per hour divided by 48 seconds. The 48 seconds represent the total time it takes for the barista to complete all drink preparation steps. This results in a capacity of about 75 drinks per hour. This creates a clear mismatch where demand is greater than capacity, especially during peak times. Another issue is that staff frequently leave the workstation to retrieve supplies, which further reduces effective capacity and slows drink production. Small supply retrieval trips may take 1 to 2 minutes, but after a high volume rush, restocking can take up 10 to 15 minutes. Overall, these factors result in long wait times and ultimately customers walking away without ordering. Next, we analyze the root causes behind the long wait times by breaking down each steps of the drink making process. When we look at the task breakdown on the right, the barista workstation performs the longest set of activities, a total of 48 seconds per drink. This includes grinding the coffee, tamping, pulling the espresso shot, heating the milk, combining the drink, and serving it. Because this sequence is manual and must be completed in order, it creates the lowest capacity among all stations at only 75 drinks per hour. In contrast, the host and BevX stations have much shorter total work content and far higher capacities. This imbalance means the barista station becomes the bottleneck. It determines the maximum output of the entire cafe. Another contributing factor is workflow interruptions. Baristas frequently leave the workstation to retrieve supplies, which takes about 1 to 2 minutes per trip. After periods of heavy volume, restocking can take as long as 10 to 15 minutes. These interruptions further reduce effective capacity and slow down drink production. Overall, the root cause of the long wait time is that the barista station cannot keep up with peak demand due to long sequential tasks combined with frequent restocking delays. Here we used an Ishikawa or fishbone diagram to break down the underlying causes contributing to long wait times and loss of customers. One major issue is that the cafe had no performance tracking before Anna Arrival stepped into her role. They weren't measuring workflow times, restocking frequencies, or demand patterns. Because of this lack of data, the cafe didn't realize how severe the bottleneck was until problems has already escalated. Once Arrival started observing operations, she began timing each step in the drink making process, and that's when the 48-second barista processing time and the demand capacity mismatch became clear. Under materials, the cafe frequently ran out of essential supplies and didn't keep enough inventory on hand. Restocking after heavy volume could take 10 to 15 minutes, which slowed the operations even further. Smaller restocking trips also took staff 1 to 2 minutes each time, which disrupts workflow during peak hours. For people, barista often had to leave their workstation to grab supplies. Peak hour pressure is also very high, and because the stations aren't balanced, the barista ends up with an uneven share of workload, making them the bottleneck. Looking at methods, the drinking making process is completely manual and sequential. The barista's task alone takes 48 seconds per drink, with no parallel steps. On top of that, there's no standardized restocking routine, which leads to an inconsistent workflow and frequent interruptions. Finally, under environment, students only have a 10 minutes passing period between classes, which limits how long they can stay in line. Customer arrival is also highly variable around class times. creating short period of intense demand that the cafe is not equipped to handle. Overall, when we combine these issues, lack of measurement, supplier shortages, staff interruptions, sequential tasks, and intense time pressure, you can clearly see why long wait times and work waste are happening.